So, my name's Maggie Fletcher, and I've been given a wonderful opportunity to speak this evening with Surjit Dharmi. Thank you for joining me. Who's been leading meditation in the UK for many years and has been speaking on the subject of self-realisation for many years. So, thank you for joining me this evening, Surjit. And when I was thinking about what I wanted to ask you, I thought, well, what is it that most people are looking for, the answer for? And I suspect it's how do I deal with my anger, my stress, my worry, all those negative feelings that come into our lives day in, day out. How do I handle that? What would you say to those people?
Wow, Maggie, that's a lot of questions there. Stress, anxiety, worries, depression, negativity. How do I deal with them? How do I deal with them? Well, that's all we're dealing with all the time, really. And everywhere we go, there's so many seminars, so many professional development programs, and how to make yourself better, how to make yourself stronger, how to bring things back into your control. And it's always to do with the negativity, depression, and they always have seminars how to deal with stress or how to deal with worries. But the question I really want to ask is, how do you deal with happiness? And I know that sounds really bizarre, you know, the way you're looking at me now, it's
Yeah.
like, but how would you deal with happiness? Because if you know how to deal with happiness, you wouldn't need to know how to deal with sadness.
So how do you deal with and why should we have to deal with happiness? Surely that's a natural thing, that's just something that we accept. Why do we have to deal with happiness?
I think happiness, when we arise, we don't even think about it. We just want to embrace it. Like a child thinks sweet and a candy, so to open up the wrapper and eat it and devour it. And the same way, that's what we do with happiness. We don't even think about it. We don't even think where it's come from or when it will go. We just take it fully and absorb it. But when sadness arrives, then straight away the alarm bells ring and we want to blame someone and we become the victim. And then straight away, then we enter a struggle. And what we need to do is actually, is when we experience happiness, is just pause for a second and for a moment. Recognize its fleeting nature, that it actually isn't, has no permanence to it. That yes, enjoy it for the moment, but then our life truly is more than that moment of happiness. And that is the truth about happiness, that it's never really our friend. It's only a traveller. And it has no permanent nature to it. And it's come from the same place where sadness has come from. And what we do is we reject happiness. We reject sadness. And it's almost like the happiness is a friend who rejects sadness because sadness is untrendy or uncool. But the true happiness that we want is of a permanence. It's of a state of being rather than a fleeting moment. It's like having a friend that even invites the uncool friend. It's like a friend who's always sour, grumpy, but he's still invited to the party because you want that sour friend to have a smile. And the true happiness really wraps its arm around that sour friend and says, I know you're grumpy, I know you're always complaining, but I still want you to be here. And it consoles it. That's what happiness wants. It wants to be consoled. It wants to be included.
So you're actually saying that we should embrace sadness rather than try to push it away. We should give up trying to control our lives and trying to make ourselves more happy to make sure that we have less sadness. We should surrender that control.
I wouldn't say embrace it. I would say look at it in the same way you look at happiness. If happiness comes into your house, it comes in. And if sadness does, it does. But the way you invite happiness, you dance with it. And the moment sadness tries to come in, you just lock the door and shut it out. And you don't need to do that. It's just a crying friend. It's a crying friend in need that wants your love. And that's what it needs. The happiness wants your love and the sadness wants your love. And both of these states want your love. And we just want to give it to happiness because we want happiness to flourish. And we deprive sadness, the sadness becomes enraged. And that's what we're doing. We're becoming very divided with ourselves, not recognizing that both of these two friends are within us, but we are more than these friendships. That is also important, not to lose ourselves in the friendships with happiness and sadness.
Thank you very much indeed. That's a very succinct answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much.